Welcome back to the big show. Time now is 7:22. Following the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, President Donald Trump has announced a deal for the U.S. to purchase or to procure oil from the country. Trump says Venezuela has agreed to allow the United States to make off with about 30 to 50 million gallons of oil that will be sold at market price, with the proceeds from that sale expected to help both countries. The announcement follows pressure from the U.S. on Venezuela's interim president to allow full oil access to American companies or face consequences. Venezuela has kept millions of gallons of oil in storage tanks as it has faced naval blockade by the United States since mid-December. The deal is expected to be worth more than $2 billion, which seems like a lot of money when Venezuelans' agreement to sell oil to the United States. And what could it mean for our country as far as consumers are concerned and the global economy and for investors? Well, let's talk about somebody who might know all about this. Chase Wilsey, Vice President of Wilsey Asset Management. Chase, welcome back to the big show.
Thanks for having me.
You know, when you say 30 to 50 million barrels, it sounds like a lot of money, but it's what, a 3-day supply of oil here in the United States?
Yeah, I mean, that's not really, I think, the big factor with Venezuela. Obviously, it's helpful, and it's going to help with oil prices. When you look at Venezuela, I mean, they really haven't been producing much oil. Last year, they produced around 1 million barrels a day. Now, to put that in perspective, the U.S. produced over 13 million barrels of oil per day, and Saudi Arabia was right around 10 million barrels of oil per day. But the crazy thing is, Venezuela has over $300 billion, or not billion dollars, but billion barrels of oil.
In the ground.
In the ground. That's about 20% of the worldwide proven reserves. Saudi Arabia, on the other hand, has about 270 billion. So Venezuela has the most oil under the ground that's been proven in the world, but yet is producing 1%. So, I mean, there's a lot of potential there for that country to turn the spigot back on.
Potentially be the biggest gas station on the planet. And obviously the United States wants to have, being in our hemisphere, we don't want to have places like China and Russia dictating what happens to that oil. But what is happening as we sit here, as you were sitting down, 2 oil tankers were boarded by the United States. And what is your bigger concern? That it's going to take a while for this oil production to ramp up? Or is your bigger concern that we're sitting on a global powder keg here as we start boarding tankers that have Russian flags flying on them?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing is it is going to take time. Obviously, you're not going to be able to turn that spigot back on today, tomorrow, next month. You're going to have to invest billions of dollars in this infrastructure to get it up and running. So, I mean, the nice thing is it's not going to be like, oh my gosh, there's going to be a huge spike in oil prices because of this. And that was initially the concern. It's like, oh my gosh, but since Venezuela is such a small player, I think it's only upside in terms of oil prices going lower as companies go in and invest in Venezuela, get that production going once again in that country. That should be really, really beneficial to oil and gas.
I'm a little bit older than you, Chase, so I can remember the 70s when oil companies were pouring billions of dollars into Venezuela, having this exact same conversation that we're having, and it all got nationalized, and they had to walk away from billions of dollars of gear, equipment, and potential profits. So if you're a company that got burned once, are you going to be racing in to maybe get burned twice?
I mean, it's a great point, because I know Exxon was down there and they got, again, nationalized, and it's like, what the heck, we wasted all this money. And I think that is one thing, as you said, it's going to give companies some pause. It's not going to be like, okay, we're going to write a check tomorrow to go invest in Venezuela. I think if I was the CEO of one of those companies, I kind of want to see a little bit more. It's like, yes, we got Maduro, but what's going on underneath the surface there before I'm ready to step in? Because that is a big risk. You don't want to invest all this money and essentially lose it all.
Chevron, who has remained in Venezuela, I saw their stock go up. As a local investor, what are you where should we be tiptoeing around some of these energy stocks?
You know, energy is a really interesting space for many reasons. Number one, obviously AI, that is a big kind of hot spot right now. We don't have enough energy to fuel the AI trade. So energy has been interesting. But the concerning point, as I said, I think oil right now is in the high 50s. If things go right in Venezuela, I mean, it's possible you could see oil in the low 50s. That could also actually hurt energy companies because their profit margins might get dinged a little bit.
It's not worth them to start digging holes and whatnot.
And producing more oil. So, I mean, that is one thing you have to kind of tiptoe around these energy companies. Make sure if you are looking at that space, you have a sound company with a good balance sheet, because things might not go exactly according to plan. And as you said, Venezuela, maybe not the most trustworthy country yet. So we'll have to see how things go.
There are so many cards that haven't been turned over yet that I think keep your powder dry right now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Chase, thanks for rolling in. I wish you the best day possible, okay?
Thanks for having me.